Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. So tonight we actually got to hear Scott's icebreaker speech for the second time. He's embarking on the second part, and tonight I actually asked myself one question before I heard the speech. I asked myself, do I know Scott more than I did before? And I honestly believe that I do. I've actually spent time with Scott, speaking with him outside of Toastmasters and getting to know him. But something that marks a great speech, an icebreaker speech at that, is if you learn something completely new. I have never heard most of these parts of his story before. He actually asked me one specific thing, to evaluate one specific thing. He asked me, am I conversational? Does this feel like a quote-unquote Cheeto talk? Would you sit down with your friend, eat Cheetos, and just listen to this person? Or does it sound like it's something rehearsed, something scripted, something that he wrote down, word by word by word by word, something that you just want to throw away? I would not throw this away, Scott. I would put it right in my pocket. As soon as you walked up into the room, you vocally engaged every single person in here. There's nothing worse than having to lean in because somebody's whispering just like this. But you came up booming. You brought your Ed Cressy tonight. I'm surprised you didn't walk up like this, jumping around. But you engaged people, and that was phenomenal. Something that you did do was engage everyone, but you engaged everyone during the start of your speech. You had a specific structure to it. You told us about where you were, where you are, and where you're going. The first part of the speech was phenomenal. The first part of the speech, you had us laughing, you engaged us, you told us about Penn State, you told us about your history, and that's something that we loved hearing, but as soon as you start to talk about the current stage of your life, you kind of breezed right past it. So in the words of Marcus, there was a lot of foreplay, but not a lot of fun. Something else that you did was that you actually breezed right through everything, and then your conclusion was strictly, my future is, I'm looking for purpose. Something within the icebreaker instructions is to memorize the conclusion. And the reason that we want to memorize the conclusion is so that when we do finish, we finish with a bang. We finish strong, and we leave a good impression on people. What you did absolutely best was you were vulnerable. By show of hands, who felt connected because he actually opened up about the difficult part of his life? So at the start of the speech, you asked me, am I engaging the audience? Am I actually speaking to the audience? And by the show of hands that you just saw, I think you succeeded. Mr. General Evaluator.
Please take 10 seconds to award for the best evaluator.